Now we will have a comprehensive problem. This will illustrate journalizing down to preparation of a trial balance. This comprehensive problem covers the three steps in the accounting cycle. Step one, which is the journalizing step, or we record and we analyze transaction, record them in the journal. Step two is when we post transactions in the ledger. And step three is when we make our or prepare our trial balance. These three steps is actually the three phases of accounting. Remember, we have four, but these covers only the three phases of accounting. The first phase of recording, the recording phase is also known as the recognition because that's when we recognize. Recognize is synonymous to we record the transactions. And we do the recording phase or the recognition by journalizing. And we do journalizing in the journal. Again, the journal is the book of your original entry. The second phase is called the classifying phase. The classifying is made by posting. When we do posting, we post it on the ledger. Okay, the ledger is the book called the book of the final entry. Okay, we classify the transactions on each account title. Okay, we group together all transactions affecting cash, for example, or affecting your accounts receivable and all other account titles. We group them together, we classify them. And then the third phase is summarizing. We summarize all transactions for the month or quarter or year by preparing a report. This is not yet a financial report that is the end point of accounting. This is just some basic report, temporary reports, which we call the trial balance, just to check the balances of all our debits and credits. Because we cannot give the owners the whole journal record. Take note, journal record is chronologically arranged. For example, it happened on 1 month. So all transactions that happened from 1 month, starting the first day down to the 30th day of the month. So if there's plenty of transaction that happens in 1 month, you cannot give the owner the whole book. So full of transactions, difficult to analyze. Now we classify, group them together into transactions affecting cash, AR, and all other accounts, and then we summarize them. Okay, of course, we cannot yet give the trial balance to the owner. It will just facilitate our preparation of the final report, which are called financial statements. So later in the problem that we will solve, we will be doing all of these things, no? The accounting phases and the three steps that in the accounting cycle. We have here a problem from Winnie Villanueva. Okay, this is taken from the book of Winlu Baliada. Winnie Villanueva is a painting contractor and she has these transactions for the month of April. Now we'll read the requirement first. The first requirement is to prepare the journal entries to record the April transactions. Now, after which we have to set up the following ledger accounts and post all the journal entries. Take note the account titles are given already. So meaning every time you will have transactions from April 1 down to April 29, we will choose from these account titles which account title fits the transactions, which account titles are affected by each transactions. Okay, so we have here a choice from cash, accounts receivable, painting supplies, prepaid insurance, painting equipment, service vehicle, notes payable, accounts payable, Villanueva capital, Villanueva withdrawals, painting revenues, wages expense, utilities expense, and maintenance expense. So basically, these are the account titles written in its chart of accounts. Now we will prepare a trial balance after that, after posting to the ledger. So we'll start first with journalizing. So journalizing is where we record the transaction in a journal book, okay? And we prepare the journal entries. On April 2, invested in the business painting equipment valued at 12,300 and placed 71,000 in the business checking account. Okay? So looking at this transaction, there's the word invested. It means Winnie Villanueva had invested money to the business. So this is an investment transaction. So what did he invest in the business? He invested two types of assets, the painting equipment and 71,000 cash. Okay? So when we say business checking account, this is account in the bank where the account holder may issue check to withdraw money. So therefore, first our painting equipment, which is an asset, will increase. So we debit painting equipment. And cash will also increase, debit cash. Now, if it's an investment, the owner's capital will also increase. So capital when increased, we credit it. So we credit Villanueva capital. Take note, assets, painting equipment, and cash. And then equity account, Villanueva capital. Now, if you have remembered in the previous slides, normally original investment or investment is in a form of cash, right? But it is not impossible for owners to invest other forms of assets. Okay? So just like in this case, she invested painting equipment. So it is also possible. So we have our debits. We add our debits and then we get a credit of equal to 83,300. So you have two debits. When you add them, it should equal to your one credit. It should be equal to your one credit. And then we make an explanation. So we can just write the record investment or investment of the owner, or you can actually copy the whole thing. This one can be an explanation for a description as to what the transaction is all about. It's just that this is too long, so you can summarize it into few words. Now, next transaction, April 3. Acquired service vehicle costing 80,000. Paid 50,000 cash and signed a note for the balance. So when you acquire service vehicle, your asset named service vehicle will increase. So asset, once it is increased, you debit it. So you debit service vehicle, 80,000. And then when you pay cash, your cash will decrease. Cash is an asset, so once it decreases, it is credited. You credit cash 50,000. Now, the balance. We do not know the balance yet. But if we buy something worth 80 and we pay only 50, what is the balance? Very good. You have 30. And it was stated that you signed a note for the balance. So among the accounts there given for liabilities, we have two account titles related to liabilities. One is account payable, another is note payable. So when we say account payable, it is an oral promise to pay. But if it is written promise to pay, there is a note, a promissory note, then we call it note payable. Now, since the company signed a note, therefore the company issued a promissory note. So we call the liability account title notes payable. And notes payable, being a liability, is increased. So liabilities once increased are credited. So we credit notes payable. And then we make our description or explanation as to what the transaction is all about. So you can just summarize it into acquired service vehicle. Next, on April 4, purchased painting supplies on account. Okay, so painting supplies is an asset. When you purchase an asset, it will increase. So you debit your asset painting supplies. And then you purchase it on account, meaning you did not pay for that for yet. So you have obligation, you have liability. So we credit accounts payable. Now, if it is just on account, we normally use accounts payable rather than notes payable. Both accounts payable and notes payable are liabilities, right? But notes, there has to be a promissory note issued. If it's just oral liability or just stated in the problem that it's on account, then we use accounts payable. And then it is a liability, right? So we credit it. It means it has increased. Now, your description, purchase supplies on account. Okay. Next, April 5. Completed a painting job and billed the customer. So take note, this is a painting contractor. Company is painting so that the company can earn. So if she completed a painting job, hence she has earned something, she has rendered service. So she will earn. So once she earns, the account title related to her earnings, painting revenue. So a revenue account will increase. If revenue increases, it is credited. So we credit painting revenues. Now it is completed, but it was stated that she just billed the customer. So that means she has not collected the money yet, no cash received yet. So not yet received, still to be received in the future. So it is still accounts receivable. Take note, yung root word of this is receive and able suffix is future, no? That you will receive in the future. You will receive money in the future. So, okay, so accounts receivable will be collected in the future and will be converted into cash in the future. But as of April 5, it is still receivable. This is an asset, so this increase, so you debit it. Now, for accounting terms, no, when we say receivable and it is collected, we call it realized. Realized. Realized is when we collect our receivable. The word realized in accounting is conversion or converting to cash in a form of selling or collection of receivable. So this accounts receivable is still to be realized, no? Meaning to be converted to cash. Okay? So that's term in accounting. Now on April 7, we have here received 1.5 cash for painting an apartment room. Oh, this is obvious that you received cash in the present time on April 7. So your cash increased, which is an asset, you debit cash. And you render painting services here, right? Because you painted an apartment room. So what will happen to that? You credit painting revenue. And this is performing services for cash. As opposed to April 5, it was perform service on account. April 7, you perform service for cash. Okay? To continue with the problem, on April 10, we purchased painting supplies for 1,600 cash. So when we buy supplies or purchase, supplies increase and it is an asset. Once it is increased, we debit it. And cash, an asset decreased, so we credit cash. Then we describe it as purchase supplies for cash. 11. Received a 4,800 check from the customers billed on April 5. Okay, take note. This is the time when the receivable is received. So this is collection. Okay? Or this is the time when the company has now realized the receivable. Okay? So it means the company receives cash. So we debit cash and then we credit accounts receivable. An asset is decreased because you have collected the receivable, you credit the originally debited receivable. So from debit of 48, we credit to 48. That means as of that day, April 11, you have no more receivable or collectible. It means it has been realized already or collected already. Okay? So you can just describe it as collection, or you can copy the whole thing for your description. But this is too long. You can describe it in one word. On April 12, we pay 4,000 for the insurance policy for 1 year coverage. So we have there our choice prepaid insurance. So this is still an asset because this is good for 1 year, right? So prepaid, we pay in advance. So prepaid insurance, an asset is increased. And then we pay. When we pay cash. So cash is decreased, we credit cash. Then our description paid 1 year insurance. So you debit, credit the amount. On April 13, billed a customer 6.2 for a painting job. So when we say you just billed the customer, you did not receive money yet. You're still billing. Okay? Meaning you're requesting the customer to pay you. So you have not received money yet. It is still to be received in the future. So that's accounts receivable. So an asset increase or your receivable increase, you debit it. And then since you did painting jobs, then your revenue increase. So a revenue account is increased, therefore you credit it. So credit painting revenues for 6,200. And then we perform service on account. That's our explanation or description. Then we have April 14. Paid assistant 1.5 for 25 hours work. So assistant is our employee, right? So when we pay something to our employee, we call that either salary or wages. Okay. Normally the difference between wages and salary is that salary is fixed, so it is constant, it is the same every month, while wages is variable or it varies or it changes depending on the number of hours work or days work. Now, the assistant work for 25 hours, so he or she is paid on an hourly basis. Therefore, his wages is variable. So we call it wages expense. So in some firms, they have to separate the account title wages expense from the salaries expense because there are employees that are fixed earner and some employees are variable earner. So fixed monthly, they call the salary of that salaries expense. For variable earner, they call the salary wages expense. So if you are wage earners, your salary is or your wage is on a daily basis or hourly basis. No work, no pay. But if you're a fixed earner, your payment is called salary. Okay? So you get to receive fixed monthly salary, the same monthly salary. So in this case, since it's hourly rate, we call that wages. And it is an expense when we pay our worker. So wages expense. And remember, expense once increase is debit. So we debit wages expense. And then again, when we pay, we assume we pay using cash. So we credit cash. And then we describe it as paid wages. Okay? Or you can just copy all of this description and write it there. But that's too long. Now again, let's continue. On April 15, we have here paid tune up for service vehicle. So tune up is an activity of repairs and maintenance. We're maintaining our vehicle. So we debit maintenance expense. We do not debit the cost of anything to repair our vehicle or anything to make our vehicle run as service vehicle. Okay, but just charge them automatically to expense. That's why we call it maintenance expense. Okay, and then we credit cash because we pay cash. So this is paid tune up for vehicle. Okay, again, do not debit that to service vehicle because you only debit to service vehicle if you have actually purchased the service vehicle. But what happened here is we just tuned up the service vehicle so that it can perform well, no? So that it will run well. Okay? So any cost that is a major cost related to service vehicle can be capitalized. That's me, that means we call that asset. But this time we do not capitalize. So what do you call that? When you just charge it to expense, we do not capitalize. Okay, the word is capitalize. We capitalize it if we charge it to the asset, to the service vehicle account. Okay? But since we did not charge it to the service vehicle account, instead we charge it to the expense account, we do not capitalize. Okay, that's the correct term for that, or the technical term. So we do not capitalize, we charge them to outright expense. Call it one outright expense. So when you say outright expense, meaning expense immediately. Now let's proceed to April 18. Paid for painting supplies purchased on April 4. So remember earlier on April 4, we bought painting supplies on account. Therefore, we have a liability on that time, right? So today, April 18, we now pay our liability. So we credit liability on April 4. This time, we debit our liability. Okay, so because liability is paid, liability now is decreased. So once liability is decreased, we debit it. So we debit accounts payable, then we credit cash the amount for the amount that we pay. Now, where did we get the 3.2? That's the amount in April 4 of our accounts payable. That's the amount of our obligation in April 4. The painting supplies is worth 3.2. And then we describe it as paid accounts. Now, take note, we did not debit this time painting supplies in April 18. Why? Because on April 4, you have already debited the painting supplies. So the asset on April 4 increased already by 3.2. So that's why you debited painting supplies and credited accounts payable on April 4. But on April 18, nothing happens to your asset. It's already there. The supplies are already there. So the painting supplies account is not affected on April 18. We just paid for our liability related to that painting supplies. And what was affected was the liability. So the liability will be debited because we paid for it. So we debit accounts payable and then we credit cash. Gets? Now let's continue with April 20. April 20 purchased a new ladder and painting supplies on account. Now, you imagine a painter, right? A painter, if he or she will have to paint somewhere that is very high, no? So he or she needs a ladder. Okay, so we have their choices of account titles given. So from all assets that is given, the most or the closest to what should be the account title for ladder is equipment. Now, why not supplies? A ladder can be considered painting equipment because the ladder's life is more than 1 year and it is not consumable, right? So you cannot consume the ladder. Okay, you can use it for more than 1 year. Unlike the supplies, you can consume it within the year. Okay, so therefore, the closest account title that we can use for the ladder is equipment. So we have painting equipment. And then we debit also painting supplies. We have two debits here, equipment and the supplies. And then this was purchased on account, so we credit accounts payable. Now we just add the two debits, and that will be the amount for our credit. Okay? Now let's proceed to April 22. Received a telephone bill for 600 due next month. So telephone bill is related to utilities, right? So when you receive a bill, it means you have used up your telephone, no? So therefore you have utilities expense increase. And that is due next month. Therefore, as of April 22, you did not pay it yet. So you still have obligation. You still have a liability. So your liability is in a form of accounts payable. You credit accounts payable. Now take note, a bill is a paper, right? It's written. But we do not use the note payable because the bill is given to us by the telephone company. No, it is not us writing a letter of promise. Now we only use note payable if we make a promissory note. Okay? So this bill, we did not make any promissory note. We just received it and it's assumed that, okay, so I have something to pay in the future or the next month. Then we use accounts payable. Okay? So we have here receive telephone bill as our description. Then we debit credit 600. Now some companies have separate account title for this. Some companies call it utilities payable because some companies specifically use the accounts payable only to suppliers. And for other payables, they have specific account title. Like for the utilities, they call utilities payable. So it depends on the firm, no? But in this case, we have a given account, a set of account titles already. So we just choose from those account titles which would be fitting in the problem, no? Or in the transaction. Okay. Now let's proceed to April 23. We received 3,300 cash from the customer billed on April 13. So we build on the past. It means in the past, on April 13, we already have recognized or recorded our accounts receivable as debit. This time we are now collecting it. We have now received the receivable. So therefore we debit cash and then we credit accounts receivable. Okay? So we debit cash because we receive cash. We credit accounts receivable because our receivable is decreased and it is an asset, right? An asset once decreased is credited. We receive or collected your accounts receivable. Take note earlier, I used the word recognize when I said we already have recognized on April 13 the accounts receivable. When we say recognize, this is another term in accounting, okay? It means we record in the journal entry, okay? So you've learned new words today, right? So realized is when you collect your receivable, it becomes cash. That's realized. Recognized is when you record it, okay? Or you make journal entries out of that. Capitalized, that means you have to charge it to an asset, a major asset account. Okay. So do not capitalize or outright expense. That means you just charge your expense to expense immediately. Now moving on, we have on April 24. transferred 3,000 to personal checking account. Now remember, the business assets are separated with the personal assets of the owner. So the business bank account should be separate from the personal account of the owner. Once you transfer money from the personal account of the owner to the business, it is investment. But if it is otherwise, or if it is the business transferring money to the personal account of the owner, it is called withdrawal, okay, or drawing. So, what's another name for withdrawal? Drawing, right? Okay, so drawing. So, we debit withdrawals, Villanueva withdrawal, because our withdrawal or drawing has increased. And if you remember in our rules on debit and credit, the withdrawal is increased if it is debited. And then we credit cash because the company's cash here is decreased. Take note, we are looking at the point of view of the business, huh? Not the owner. So the point of view of the business cash decreased. But we know that the owner's cash increased, right? Because the owners received the 3,000 from the business. Okay. So, but we are recording the transactions on the point of view of the business. Okay, the business. Always the point of view of the business. Now let's proceed to April 25. Received 3,600 cash for painting two-room apartments. So we receive cash, cash is increased, we debit cash. And then we painted, so we have earned money because we have rendered services or performed service. So when we earn revenue, we credit the account title painting revenue. Our revenue has increased. So we credit perform service for cash. On April 27, paid 2,000 on the note signed for service vehicle. So if you remember earlier, when we buy our service vehicle, we made a down payment, right, of 50,000, and we issued a promissory note for the remaining 30,000. So this time we pay portion of our promise. So we pay 2,000. So the note, which was a liability, is decreased when we pay it, right? So our liability decreased, we debit the liability. We debit notes payable. And then when we pay, we credit cash. And then lastly, on April 29, paid assistant 1,800 for 30 hours work. Okay, again, this is your wages to your worker. So we debit the expense, we debit wages expense, we credit cash. Then we describe it as paid wages. So we're done with all transactions on April for our journalizing phase. Okay? So take note, the PR column or posting reference column is still blank because we're just journalizing it. We are not yet posting it.